Good afternoon, traders. It's about a minute until the market closes, so this is intended to be a live trade video, but we'll need something to trade first, so I've got my after hours list open. So top gainers, after hours, click all. And the one thing that I found out recently is that organizing by volume on this only applies to after hours doesn't really help, because it includes the volume of the day. So that means all the volume that this stock traded with from 9:30 till 4 at least. Maybe it includes the pre-market, I don't know. But so the reason why you don't want to organize the aftermarket by volume is because you could see a stock that has like really crazy high volume, but it's got no volume in the aftermarket or next to no volume. And it just appears that way because it's including the volume from earlier in the day. So the market's about to close, so I've also got the screener open on my laptop. I kind of like to see which one changes first. It looks like they both did. Try to avoid these pennies. Let's see, let me go over here. It's quicker to add to the list over here. It's supposed to be after hours, and that sucks. It's supposed to have an after hours percent change, so I'm gonna have to do it manually. Let's see, CGIX. I think I was watching that one earlier. Yeah. So I gotta watch out for that. Neuro was trading earlier as well. Okay, here we go. BDR, that looks like a possibility. Oh, I know that one. Not sure if that's really a low float or not. We're gonna have to check. So you gotta be quick here. Aftermarket, CGIX, I know that one's low float, low float. Okay, let's go take a look, see if there's any entries on these. Gotta see some volume. Okay, this looks promising. Could enter for the break of this candle. Then my stop would be 192, which is pretty big. But I like that volume coming in. Let's take a look at the others. Nothing there. Wow. This one looks really strong. Just need to get some kind of pullback or something for an entry, because otherwise this could be a pump and dump. Okay, this is pretty aggressive. I'm gonna try to get in there. Then my stop is the bottom of that candle, but I don't think I got in. Okay, now I'm in. I'm gonna sell half there just because that was super aggressive entry. Then I'm gonna sell the rest if it comes down lower, or maybe just half again. Let's just get rid of half again. And then if it drops below this candle, which is 222, well, that's pretty big. That's like a 10-cent loss there. So let me unload a few more shares. This is like obviously like going for pennies here, but I'm just trying, because this is a super aggressive entry, so the 2R thing doesn't really work out here. This is like cowboy trading right here. So if I see 232, I got to get out. I'm gonna let it go to the whole number 230. The idea is to get in on the front side of this thing as it goes up, and then ride it all the way, you know, even possibly into tomorrow. So this is a little bit different style of trading than what I do during the pre-market and during the day. And that's why I kind of unloaded so many shares there right away. My ideal entry in something like this is if the second candle opens lower. Selling one more there, and I'm going to hold on to these other two all the way down to my entry. This is kind of like cheat trading in a way, because really the right way to play this is to let this thing go and make a high of day, or high of aftermarket in this case, wait for the pullback, and then buy the the first entry on the pullback. So I don't know how long I'm going to continue doing this type of trading. It's fun, it's exciting, that's for sure. But I'm just not sure if it's really like worthwhile to do long term. But I'm just kind of messing around with it for now. Not something I'd recommend a beginner to do, or you really have to know when you get in, define your stop, because what happens if this thing went against me right away and went all the way back down here? I don't want to take a loss that big. So I had my stop the low of that candle, just in case it did go completely against me. Now I got to watch out. If it comes all the way down to 232, I got to get out. I hope it doesn't. But it likely will, because that's a little bit more than 50% of a pullback. But if it gives like a decent pullback, I may get in. I may not add really, but get back in if it gives me like a good pullback. We'll see. This is the real deal, though. Live trading, live aggressive trading, I should say. But, that volume that came in right at the close, I did take a quick peek over here at the daily chart, and I noticed the price was above the 200 MA. There's an overall uptrend, so all that stuff is good. It's looking like it's having a really hard time coming back down. So this thing may continue on. And this could be like a good starter position for tomorrow, if I hang on to this thing. If this thing continues up. This has been happening a lot with these low float stocks. They've been shooting up a lot in the aftermarket and then taking off at the open the next day. So that might be what this is. I just didn't feel comfortable holding a whole bunch of shares because, like I said, the entry was extremely aggressive. So I wanted to minimize my risk. Could always add a share over 290, but then I'd have to get out if it comes back down to my entry, so that could work against me. There's a lot of volume over here for selling, like 95,000. That's pretty crazy. That's got to be from back here. Like all the people that bought on the 10 million shares were traded on this day and drove the price up. So that was probably mostly bag holders. Or it could be people from, let's see, that was 1 million shares. I'm looking at the number hidden under there. But I'm cool with like hanging out on this stock now until it comes back down to my entry or continues higher. If it continues higher, then I'll just sit on it. Not going to make a ton of money with only 2 shares, of course, but this is more like I said, this is kind of, I'm not a gambler, but if there was any gambling trading I do, it's this. Because, you're getting in on the front side, which to me, the thing I like about it is because if you're getting on the front side, you're generally going to get a cheaper price. Of course, that may have not held true here. If this thing did a 50% pullback, it would be right around this area. So that's almost 10 cents cheaper than where I got in. So you could argue that this isn't a great entry. But, you just never know with these. And right now I'm still collecting data and just seeing how things go. So it did go over that 290. So I did kind of miss an opportunity to add, but I'm not so sure I'm in love with adding on this. So 42,000 shares on that first candle. So one of my things is, it's hard to put a number on these because it definitely depends on float size. And a low float stock, 42,000 shares is like 1 million shares in a medium or high float stock. So I used to say like 10,000 shares or more. That's a good rough estimate, but you could have 5,000 or 6,000 shares, and if it's a 1 or 2 million float, then that'll push it up really hard. And here's another example where there's no news on this stock yet. It's moving, and I'm making money off of it. So, I guarantee it'll have news later. It's one of the top gainers in the aftermarket. Very interesting though, because it just keeps continuing to reject lower prices. You know, it's basically setting up resistance. When it does fail, it's probably going to fail hard, and it might come right down to my entry. If it does fail, you know, it could continue higher. You never know, but I'm sitting pretty right now with profit, even though it's small. But that was what I was comfortable doing. It looks like I definitely would have gotten the 2R thing once again, but this entry just wasn't that good for me to feel comfortable doing the 2R. Hey, maybe that's an excuse, but you know, because now basically I've left a lot of money on the table by selling so many shares so early, because you know I could have sold much higher, but you know I'm still getting the hang of this stuff. And having weak hands, that's one of my biggest problems. So I don't like the look of this. This looks like it might be a sign of reversal. And since I have 2 shares, this is like a 50-cent move. That's like a whole nother $1 right there. If it breaks that level, like the 280 level, I might just get out. If I see 279, I think I'm going to get out. There we go. So I'm going to get out there and just be happy with that. I mean, picked up another $1 there off of $4 worth of stock. So that's pretty cool. That's like a 25% gain off of those last 2 shares. So Rcon, let's see how we did on that. Looks like pretty good. 263. Not too shabby. You know, I know that's not a lot of money, but keep in mind how much that stock, how much that trade cost me. I'm trading with only 8% of my buying power. And will I regret selling it if tomorrow it continues higher? Yeah, probably will. But you know, like I said, so yeah, originally I had 17 shares. Let's see what the cost was. 17 times 232, so $39.44, and I made 263. So that's a 6.6% return, almost 6.7% return basicry on that one trade. Even selling out all those shares so early. Sorry about that. So you know, I think I feel pretty good about that one, just because that entry was really. I mean, maybe that's the only thing I could fault myself for, is that entry wasn't ideal and it was a risky entry. Here's one that could have been a little bit better as far as, you know, giving a truer stop, but that's like a 20-cent stop, and maybe it went 40 cents to 2R. I don't know. Let's see, 255. So 40 cents would be 295, and it did. So I could have taken the safer entry up here, where it gave me a very well-defined stop, and rode this thing to 2R, which would have been I don't think I would have got 17 shares on that for sure, but maybe I would have gotten. We can figure it out really quick if you want to hang out. 256. Let me see. My account is about $500. So let's say $40. 256. Oops. So I would have gotten 15 shares, right? And then 15 shares that went 40 cents, I think it was. Sorry, the high here is 255 and the low there's 235. So that's 20 cents. So 2 R's 40 cents. 15 times 40 cents is $6. So look here again. I mean, I keep just proving it to myself. Maybe one of these days I will actually, you know, take take my own advice here. And you can see if I would have taken this entry and just put a limit order at 2R, I would have made $6. I would have made almost 3 times, well, a little more than 2.5 times what I actually made here. So yet another, I'm gonna have to put this down, I think, as like a yellow trade that, you know, if I would have stuck to my plan and did the 2R thing, I would have done even better. So learning as we go. That's the name of the game. The account is really up to 502.88 right now. I'm waiting on some funds to settle. That's why that doesn't match that, and then it will match. So at least I broke the $500 mark. I'm up 288 altogether since I started this this 2R trading, which I'm not really doing. Maybe when I do the 2R trading, I'll be up even more. So anyway, but hopefully you guys are getting something out of this. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm not stronger yet, and that I don't have the tenacity and the bravery to actually, wait for the entry and just sit there, sit on my hands while this thing goes to 2R. That's the goal. That's where I'm heading. And who knows when I'll get there, but we're going to get there together. You guys will see it when I see it. And at least for now, I'm keeping things green and keeping the losses small so that I'm not eating away at my profits as I grow some trading balls here. So anyway, hope you guys balls are bigger than mine trading wise, and you guys are getting something from these videos, and hopefully you don't mind those little vulgar jokes there. But anyway, take care. I will see you guys in the next one tomorrow morning.